bank accounts. We all need them, we all use them, and for a lot of us, we don't really pay too much attention to the terms and conditions or fees or features of our bank account. We just most likely signed up to whatever bank account our parents use, and that's what we use for the rest of our lives without a second thought. So in this video I'm going to teach you how to which bank accounts are going to charge you absolutely zero fees and potentially even earn you some interest on your day-to-day spending everyday account. So there's a couple different types of people who will be watching this video, and for each of those types of people there's going to be a different recommendation that I'll give you. So the first category is if you don't need a debit card. So that means the only type of purchases you do is with an FPOS card, like physically at a point of sale machine in a shop or something, and the rest of your payments are just automatic payments from your bank, or you get paid into your bank, electronic transfers. And for this category of people, I'm going to recommend the Heartland YouChoose account. Now, this bank account is relatively new. It was only launched a couple of years ago, and it's basically the best bank account you can get in New Zealand by far. And the main reason for this is that it has absolutely zero fees, and I mean zero. And the other main selling point is that they actually pay interest on your everyday checking account, essentially your everyday spending account, whereas basically at every other bank you won't be paid any interest whatsoever. If you do require manual transactions, so basically you like to have the option to go to a branch and deposit some cash or withdraw some cash, then my recommendation would be to use either the BNZ U Money account or the TSB personal account or the TSB Connect Plus account. Now the TSB personal and Connect Plus, the only difference between those two is that the Connect Plus, a very interesting way of earning interest in that for every $100 you deposit into the account, you have 5 entries to win a new car every month. So that's sort of interesting. And then the other option is the personal account, which pays 0.05% interest, so basically nothing, but that's only for balances of above 10,000, so essentially zero. But the main reason I selected these two or three accounts is that they have no manual transaction fees. So basically at this point, just select either BNZ or TSB, whichever one has more branches near you. The second category is people who need a debit card. So the main thing that we need to compare here between all the banks is basically the annual fee and the foreign currency transaction fee. So a lot of people don't actually know this, but with a debit card, with a Visa debit card, if you buy anything from overseas or anything that's bought in a different currency, your New Zealand dollars has to be converted into whatever the other currency is. You will pay a certain percentage of the value that you're converting into the other currency as a fee to Visa or the bank to convert the currency for you. So first up is the ANZ Jumpstart account. They have the absolute lowest foreign currency fee at 1.3%, but this only applies, and you can only get the Jumpstart account if you are either under 21 or are a full-time student. But for any other case, if you're not a full-time student or if you're not under 21 years old, you can either go with the TSB Personal or Connect Plus account, which has the free debit card connected to it, and their foreign currency fee is 1.9%. Then BNZ, the BNZ U Money account has a completely free debit card connected to it, and their foreign currency fee is 2.25%. So that's also a perfectly reasonable option. And for basically all other bank accounts, all other debit cards, there's annual fees, there's monthly fees, there's transaction fees, there's manual transaction fees. So if you're wondering, hey, you didn't mention my current bank, it probably means that you're paying unnecessary fees. So the next sort of situation I'll be discussing is what I'm calling the hybrid approach. So essentially, this is what I do, and I think basically everyone should do this, is to have the Heartland YouChoose bank account with the FBOS card, and then if you need a debit card, just go and from the previous section, go choose one of those free debit cards that I was talking about, and then have your Heartland account and that debit card account, whatever one you end up choosing. And then if you need to make an online purchase, you just transfer some money over to your debit card. Usually takes 1 working day or arrives the next morning, and that will allow you to do any online purchasing you want to do. And then an even better approach, in my opinion, would be to have a credit card. Now, if you already have a credit card, then that's perfect. You don't need to go out and get another debit card. Just use your existing credit card and set up a direct debit authority from your Heartland Bank account, which will then pay off your credit card every month, regardless of how much you've spent on it. And then you already have your online purchasing access, and essentially instant access to your money through the credit card. So that's what I'll be doing eventually once I'm eligible to get a credit card, and that way you don't even have to have a debit card. Alright, so we've talked a lot about lots of different bank accounts and debit cards and what I call the hybrid approach. And the last sort of thing that I want to cover is the whole concept of an overdraft. So basically an overdraft is if you spend more money than you have in your bank account can either go into an unarranged or an arranged overdraft. So basically you tell the bank beforehand or you don't. And in this case, essentially what happens is you tell the bank, okay, I want to overdraft, and they essentially give you a line of credit directly connected to your bank account. So in this case, once again, Heartland YouChoose, they have the absolute lowest interest rate overdraft at a 10% interest rate, and that's both for arranged and unarranged. And then they have an excess interest rate if you go past your limit of 6% on top of that 10%, so a total of 16%. So that's an incredible overdraft rate, and it's far less than all the other banks. Basically any other bank, it's a lot better. And on top of all of this, the Heartland YouChoose account, with the overdraft with YouChoose, has no monthly fee and no application fee. So, I mean, you can't beat free. Now there is one caveat to this, and that would be if you are either a student, a graduate, or a career starter, you can actually get an interest-free overdraft at Westpac. So they offer a fees-free account with a free debit card for those groups, and then plus you get the interest-free overdraft, and that has no monthly fees, no application fee, and that's basically the only other exception to the Heartland overdraft. There are a lot of other banks that offer interest-free overdraft for students, but they charge like a monthly fee or whatever else. So again, you can't beat free. So in conclusion, just to wrap everything up and to give you a very simple guide. Okay, this is exactly what your bank account setup should be. I would recommend that every single person in New Zealand go out and apply for a Heartland YouChoose account, just because it's completely free and it has a 0.5% interest on all of your money, which is unheard of in a transactional everyday account. If you need a debit card, go out and get one of the free debit cards that I've mentioned. And just a last note on overdrafts, try to avoid needing an overdraft if at all possible. But if you absolutely need one, if you're one of those three categories I mentioned before, try to get an interest-free overdraft with Westpac. Otherwise, you can use the Heartland overdraft. So with all of that said, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I hope it was helpful. Please comment down below if I've missed anything, because I do sometimes miss stuff. I've spent hours researching all of this, so hopefully it's all correct. Thanks so much for watching, and stop paying fees in your bank.